Here they be, yo. Marco and Sheets on X1075.
Get you garbage tickets at 7:30. Want to know what the most ridiculous thing is you ever bought online? Found this. These are real items that you can buy online. And I got to tell you, this is the new age version of, when you go and you take a flight somewhere?
Oh, yeah.
And you see that little brochure they have in the flight?
Yeah, and pens are $10,000.
Yeah. This is what this is. But what is the craziest thing you've ever either seen to buy online or the craziest purchase you've made online? You can call us with your story, 702-791-1075. But some of these are unbelievable, and these are real items. The ability to walk on water is now sold online. This is a water walking ball. $500. And it costs you $10 to ride inside for 3 minutes. So you can either rent it or buy it.
Right.
This literally is a huge plastic bubble. It's a very thin plastic bubble. And you get inside of it. It expands around you, and you can literally walk on water.
There's got to be some Jesus reference to the name of this product.
It holds 30 minutes of breathable air. And you can't, walk across the Atlantic Ocean or anything because you only get 30 minutes. But there are people who take this out into the ocean and out into lakes and literally walk on water. $500.
Can you imagine? What'd you do today? I went for a walk. Where'd you go? Oh, I walked across the ocean. Walked across the Atlantic. Stopped in London.
We'll put this link on our Facebook page at Marco and Jeet so you can check out some of this stuff. Maybe you want to buy some of this stuff. I mean, $500, even if you got a big kick-ass pool, this might be kind of cool. Go in the back of your pool and just walk around on it.
Yeah. How about this mech? Have you seen these?
Yeah, the mech.
Which is basically like, a giant fighting robot that you control that looks like something from Iron Man.
It's like your own transformer, and it's artificial intelligence. They kind of program it to what you want to do, and it'll follow you around. What's the price tag on that? Did it say?
Yeah, $350,000.
Yeah,
gets you a destruction robot.
People were getting really excited when you said $300. They were like $350. I'll buy a mech for $350, and then
there's more.
There's some more zeros there. How about somebody to stand in line for you? That's available to buy online. What a brilliant idea, though. The website is linestanding.com, and it lets you pay someone an hourly rate to go to a location and stand in line for you, and then you can switch places with them.
So business got to be booming on like movie premieres and Black Friday.
Well, iPhones, any kind of tech, video game releases at times. Some of those are really big. How about tickets to concerts, Super Bowls, things like that?
Yeah.
Might want to do that. Because sometimes now what they do is they hold a certain amount just for in-person walk-ups, and then the rest are online only.
Do you think the guy who professionally stands in line is killing it? Like, do you think he has a nice house, pulls up in a BMW, and they're like, damn, dog, what do you do? He's like,
so I think it would depend on the city you live in, because some cities, Las Vegas would be maybe a great city for that. So I'm thinking if you're a tourist and you're flying in and you want, tickets to a certain show or something like that,
right?
The day before you would hire this guy on linestanding.com, and you get there and you just meet him and there's your tickets.
Yeah, the line standing guy in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, probably not doing too well.
No, it's a little bit different, right? They stand in line for the porta potties. How about think about like football stadiums, which it's tough to get a beer at a football stadium.
Oh, well, you can miss a chunk of a quarter.
That's what I'm saying.
In line, yeah.
So if you're super rich, you hire a guy, you buy him a ticket, and you say, dude, your job is just keep getting back in beer lines.
Can you imagine if he was on your permanent payroll? They're like, who's this guy? What does he do? He's like, whenever I need someone to stand in line, that's my guy. It's part of his entourage.
If you've got a story about something crazy you bought online, 702-791-1075. Wingsuits, we all know about wingsuits. Red Bull made these famous.
Yeah.
You jump out of a plane, you don't have a parachute, it's a wingsuit. But I'll tell you, the price on these have come down a lot. They're between $600 and $1,500. You can fly like a bird.
I don't want to fly like a bird.
Yeah, the thing about that is to have fun with that, I think it's sort of dangerous. The levitating hover scooter. You've seen hoverboards?
Yeah, this one actually hovers.
This one actually hovers. It gets a little bit more air, and it goes up to 15 miles an hour. So a little slower than a bike, but, faster than walking.
Yeah, I was watching, who was playing it? One of the movie channels was playing Back to the Future over the weekend.
Yeah, and that was the original.
They showed the hoverboard, and I was like, now that's a hoverboard. This thing that rolls on the ground is not a hoverboard.
No, this is a real one. It's legitimate. It's not a hoverboard. This, again, we're going to put it up, but it's a hovering scooter. Starts at $17,000. That's the problem. A jetpack, which, we've all seen jetpacks. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
They can only be sold to what's being mentioned as quote-unquote qualified individuals who have training. So,
what do you think impresses a girl more? Do you think like a Ferrari or having your own jetpack? Because like a Ferrari, it's like, oh, it's a Ferrari, and that's pretty dope. But who really has a jetpack?
I don't know, but look at this, the jetpack. You can hire a guy to come to your event. He can jetpack in. It costs between $2,000 and $25,000, depending on where you want him to jetpack into. You've seen that happen at stadiums, right? College football games.
Right.
They'll have a guy jetpack in with like the team flag. I didn't realize they made that much money.
New career option.
Yeah, something to think about, right?
And of course, there's the guy who probably needed a jetpack. Who, what was he flying in on during that Tyson fight? Remember?
Oh yeah,
came crashing into the ropes.
It was some kind of weird parachute, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it had like a propeller thing on
it was
the
something
back.
weird. A tank. You can buy a tank online. A lot of people don't know this. Cost about $60,000
for a tank.
Yeah,
that's it.
Cash and wire transfer only.
I don't like that tanks are so cheap, to be honest with you.
Here's a problem: they're not street legal, so you're going to need like a farm or some kind of big private, land. And here's something really scary: you can buy uranium online. The same thing that we use like Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can buy that online. How much is uranium?
Depending on how much you want, it's all done by weight. Of course, it's heavily scrutinized by the government as to who buys it and how much you can buy, but it is available to buy online, which is a little scary. I read this and I'm going, wow, this is sort of scary. But there are websites. They don't list the websites here. I probably wouldn't mention it anyway.
I wouldn't even
I'd
know
feel
what
a little
to
guilty
do with uranium. Like I go by the smallest portion. They're like, what are you doing with it?
Here's the thing. That's one thing, like uranium, there's nothing good you can do with it. You know what I mean? Like, what positive thing could you do with uranium? I bought some uranium. I saved a bunch of puppies. It doesn't work that way.
You soup up your lawnmower?
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
I do my whole yard in 12 seconds.
We'll get this list out on our socials, Facebook and Twitter, at Marco and Jeets. But these are 12 of the most bizarre things that you can buy on the internet. Some of these are relatively cheap. Others of them, very, very expensive. But
I don't like how cheap tanks are, by the way. I'm on record of saying that.